Thought I'd make this video for my YouTube subscribers. I am certainly not a prophet, but through the many years I've acquired much skills, knowledge, and education. 30 years of the judicial system I worked, 20 years on the law enforcement side, and then another 10 years on the criminal defense side, doing criminal defense investigators on behalf of the defense. And one of the things that I experienced doing my investigations was not so much on the law enforcement side, but once cases got filed on and then sent to the DA's office, many of the cases, while working criminal defense, many of the cases that once the prosecutors got their hand on, oftentimes, it's very sad, but exculpatory evidence had been intentionally held back, omitted, deleted, or destroyed. There are times that defendants that were accused of a crime had video and or audio evidence, exculpatory evidence that would have acquitted them in trials, or at least got the DA to dismiss the charges, but it suspiciously disappeared. And it's nothing more disheartening than find out that an audio file or a video file had been deleted. And of course, at times we did hire data recovery experts, and they cost a minimum $250 an hour, and a lot of the clients did not have the money for a forensic data recovery expert. And then sometimes things just were not recoverable regardless. But last week was my birthday, and my wife always treats me very well on my birthday. And my old MP3 audio recorder was one of the first generation recorders. Actually, it probably was the first one made. Very small, kind of ineffective. It finally gave up the ghost. So my wife actually bought me a professional model here. This is a Tascam D40, high definition audio, professional quality. It's primarily made for music, but this is going to be great for the open air evangelism community. This is the version 2. It's got, well, there's tons of neat things it has, but the reason why I decided to get this is not only can I carry this high-end MP3 recorder on my belt or in my pouch or on my body, I can also increase the decimals, by the way, the decimal input into the microphone, so it will pick up things that my other recorder would not. But this is also going to be great for covert use. Now, obviously, you got to be careful about the laws within your state when recording people covertly, auditory covert recording. But the truth is, if they know you're videotaping them with your regular video equipment, it's safe to say that it's reasonable to know that they also know they're being audio taped. So, along with my video equipment, I'll be able to covertly audio tape them from a remote location. This here, again, I can use this like a regular recorder attached to my body or in a pouch on my belt, but it's got an XLR input, external input here. So what I can do with this device, check this out. I can either use the professional microphone jacks on the bottom. These are XLR inputs, and simply click that in there. And then click the other end into a receiver. This is a Sennheiser receiver that I used to have for my business as well, my former business, I should say. And then, of course, this is a receiver that I can attach on my body and then wear a lapel mic somewhere. And you can actually hide this so nobody can see it. And the reason why I say that it's nice to have remote audio, I actually used this Friday at a couple locations in Pomona. I parked my vehicle approximately 200 feet from the location that I did some open air evangelism, and I plugged this in. And by the way, these XLR jacks on this camera, on this device, you just simply I hope my video camera is catching all this. It's a GoPro, but you pull this out, and what's nice about this system, I've never seen this before. There's also a phone jack, a phono jack that's actually inside the XLR jack input. And it's easier. I just use that. Simply stick this in here. Bingo. And now, with the other end, which is much smaller, I actually plug this into my receiver. I had this going, and hours and hours and hours and dozens of hours of recording time. The battery lasts a long time in here, as well as, of course, plenty of storage on the card for high-definition audio. It sits in my car recording real-time, 24/7, date and time-stamped MP3. There's like 6 different audio formats, WAV file, MP3, and some ones I've never heard of, but I've got adjusted for MP3, a higher definition, higher resolution, or whatever you want to call it. But I can now record remotely by having this in my car, just like this, and just like it is. Hit the record button, and now it's recording, as you can see. Leave this in my car, out of sight and out of mind. The antenna will pick up to several hundred feet, by the way, no doubt, but I was about 200 feet in Pomona in a gang-infested, prostitution, drug-infested place. I did not want them to see my vehicle. I did not want them to know where I came from. I just kind of walked out of nowhere. And here's where I'm going with this, my friends. Satan is the father of lies. He's come to steal, kill, and destroy. The Bible says that he roams the earth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And let me tell you something. I truly believe that open-air evangelists are #1 on Satan's hit list. We are in his crosshairs, well zoomed in on and well focused. Yes, greater is he who is in us than he is in the world. But we need to be spiritual tacticians. We need to be wise, have the mind of a serpent and the heart of a dove. So now what I can do is walk in on a location, and I can have, if I choose to videotape it, that's fine. But if not, I can at least have an audio here. But in this case here, I had a GoPro camera. They knew I was videotaping them. But what if a gangbanger or a non-repentant sinner grabs my camera, which has happened? What if they grab the GoPro off of my chest harness, which has happened? Or what if I got arrested and either the police officer or more likely the prosecutor's office destroyed, lost, deleted, or omitted my auditory or video evidence that could have been exculpatory and vindicating me in the court of law, either criminally or with a civil lawsuit? What if that happens? Well, the neat thing is, if you have this, of course, law enforcement will find this on your body if you do get arrested. Probably most likely wrongfully arrested if you're obeying the laws. But yeah, they'll find this recording device on you. And yeah, they'll confiscate your video equipment as per the evidence code and book that as evidence. But if it's helpful for the defense, that sometimes that video or audio evidence kind of disappears. But the neat thing is 200 feet away, locked in my car, still recording, is the high-definition audio, which is a better quality of audio by far than what the video camera provides. And so this here's got, nice thing about this system is you plug the phone jack or the XLR jack. You plug the phone jack into the XLR jack, and it plays both on the right speaker and left speaker. And of course, when this is not in, it's beautiful, beautiful stereo, either in this direction here, or if you were to put this out, of course, you can pick more of a stereo, widen your audience if you want to record more of the audience that you're evangelizing. But this device works well. I used it again Friday in the Pomona area, and I also used it at an abortuary that I also labored at. And of course, when I got back in my car a long while later and played this back, I actually played it back. I plugged the audio into my stereo system on my Jeep, and it played beautiful. Just a beautiful sound. Again, this is the only way it's going to play stereo, though, with external jacks, is if you have 2 external jacks, one on the left, one on the right. But this one here, I plug it into the left, and it plays on both channels. This also plays 4 channels, too, by the way, which really is more like for music. But I highly recommend something like this, folks, if you plan on pushing the envelope, if you plan on towing that line, and if you are a subject of law enforcement and they are going after you, you can either hide this receiver and the high-definition MP3 recorder in your vehicle, or you can hide this on another person that's at the rally or the location where you're evangelizing. In other words, I can have the lapel mic right here on my body or on somebody else's body. It doesn't matter. You switch it around. This microphone picks up so well. You can have it on you can have this on a third person. and the preacher or speaker doesn't even have to have the lapel mic on their body because it picks up very well. But this can also be placed on the human body of another person, a third person, or in your vehicle, or hidden anywhere, and you'll always have audio evidence saved on a hard drive, in this case an SD card, and it's wonderful. So yeah, we got to be wise, my friends. We need to be spiritual tacticians, and we need to be very wise these days, because open-air preachers, evangelists, abolitionists, whatever God has them doing, they're turning the world upside down out there. And let me tell you something, Satan hates it. Now, I respect law enforcement. I love them dearly. But the truth is if they are not born again of the incorruptible seed, if they are not written in the Lamb's book of life, the Bible says in a couple places of scriptures that they are enemies of Christ. So if you don't think the enemy of Christ is working for Satan, or Satan can use the enemy of Christ, my friends, you are very, very naive. So you have to be wise, okay? So here it is, folks. This is the Tascam D40 version 2 linear PCM recorder. I'll put a link inside. Oh, by the way, my wife bought this. It was $179. I think it's a good investment. It's hopefully I'll never have to actually use the audio. This is something that my YouTube audience will never benefit from, because why would I need to put this audio onto a video? But I'm using this as an extra caution to protect me in case my video equipment gets damaged or confiscated, booked as evidence, or stolen, or whatever else may happen out there. So folks, protect yourself, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord. But He has given us skills and knowledge. The arrests are going to increase, so let's take advantage of the equipment that God has provided us with, and stay staunch and endure to the end. Lord bless you, my friends. Bye-bye.